Hey friends, it's me, your girl Kristen Denise, also known as KD, and come get unready with me. As I finally am going to bed. It's like 2:15 in the morning. I am at the site conference in Orlando, Florida. It's my first conference of 2025. So I've been doing a couple of different things. I've been on like a Black History series. I'm doing that. So you think you want to be a PhD? I do my regular self-care stuff. It's like a combination of all the things, right? And so, if you think you want to be a PhD, one of the things you have to prepare yourself for is conferences, academic conferences. As I shared in one of the first videos, a PhD is a research degree. Ooh, child, I look crazy. A PhD is a research degree, and one of the ways that we validate our research and we get other people on board with the things that we're doing is we share our research at conferences as they relate to what we're working on. There are a truck ton of conferences around a truck ton of topics, okay? So you kind of find your conference homes, as my advisor stated to me in the beginning, and you kind of consistently submit around topics that are important. You can join special interest groups within those conference communities, and you kind of, that's how you meet people who are working along the same topics or in the same general ideas and fields. You make all kinds of connections. You get involved, you give back. So site is not the first conference I went to, but I went to site last year for the first time, and I got to present some combined research that I did with my advisor. She was not able to attend, so I had to present all our research on my own, which freaked me out, but I did it. And I did have a good time at site, and I have found one of my conference homes, and so I'm back again this year. Last year, I joined the Culture and Climate Committee, and I joined the Critical Theory and Teaching and Technology SIG, which is Special Interest Group. And so, yeah, so I'm here for the week for the site conference. We're in Orlando, Florida this year. Last year, we were in Vegas. The year before that, when I was in Rwanda, they were in New Orleans. Couple cool things. One of my committee members is actually the current president of site. He's serving his last full year. We actually vote on who our next president will be in a couple days. And I will get to vote because I'm a co-chair for one of the special interest groups. So that's always been fun. He's talked really highly of it even before he became elected president. He actually got elected while he was my actual teacher before he became a member of my committee. He talked really highly about site. And so that was one of my interests. And I had a good time. And last year, I brought my mom to the conference last year, so she got to see me present for the first time in a professional space in that way, which was really dope. And she got to meet him, and it was a good time. So, site and I, we together. I like us. I was actually supposed to get here yesterday, Sunday night. I was supposed to get here. Well, that's technically 2 days ago now because it's Tuesday morning. Like I said, it's like 2:30 in the morning. And I went to the airport, had a full day, went to church, all that. Went home, changed clothes, cleaned up, finished packing. Got to the airport on time. I had an 8:40 p.m. flight, which I typically don't fly late. I typically am an early morning flyer. And this is the reason why. I took this 8:40 p.m. flight, y'all. The flight got canceled. They actually delayed it like 5 times. Delta. Instead of just canceling it, and they ended up having to cancel it because the pilot was going to time out before the crew arrived. And that's basically what was happening. We were waiting on crew members from another flight that got delayed, and I think DC. And by the time they finally would have gotten in, the pilot would have timed out and would no longer be able to fly because he'd been there since 8. Canceled the flight. Then there were no direct flights left anymore. I had a direct flight because I hate connecting flights. And there was nothing that would get me here early enough to do all the things I needed to do. Today, Monday. So I missed like meetings. I missed these workshops I had today. I was pissed. I ain't doing nothing yet to start getting them ready. I'm going to get to it give me a second. I was pissed. But in a moment of serendipity, right, one of the things I kept telling myself and all of my frustrations, I ended up just taking the hotel voucher and staying in the hotel even though I was still at home because I didn't want my mom to have to come back down there and get me. It was late. By the time they finally canceled the flight, like she wouldn't have gotten there before like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want my mom out there driving that late. So then have to turn around and get me back out there early in the morning because I had to be back at the airport by about 5:30 this morning because they were able to eventually get me on a flight. Like I said, they only had connecting flights for the most part. For anything that would have gotten me here early, the only direct flights they had were late at night, and I wasn't playing with them a second time. I'm not missing any more of my conference. So had to be at the airport at like 5:30 this morning to take a 7 a.m. flight to Minneapolis, and then I had a connecting flight from Minneapolis to Orlando. So instead of 1 2-hour direct flight, I had a 2-hour flight to Minneapolis and a 3-hour flight to Orlando with a 2-hour layover in the middle. Whatever. I made it. In a moment of serendipity, though, because I believe I'm always where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there, and nothing that is for me will pass me, even though I'm very, very frustrated with how everything went down and the things that I missed today. Because I really, really wanted to attend the things that I missed today. And I had to still pay for my hotel last night to not lose my reservation. And I'm a graduate student. I don't have an extra $250 just to be giving people for no reason. Now, if I was here and staying, no big deal. Whatever. Who cares? But to not be here and just be an empty room, and I got to give you $250. Another story for another day. I am gonna holler at Delta about that, cause what the fudge sickles. I literally lost like a whole day on my reservation. But it's not the point of the story. So I get there, I'm literally 5 minutes behind the shuttle leaving to get me to my hotel because I paid for shuttle service because it was just simple and easy. And I know I wasn't getting a rental car and didn't want to navigate all of that. And I didn't want to necessarily take an Uber. Pro tip, anytime I'm going somewhere, even if it's in the United States, but especially when I travel internationally, I typically always pay for some type of driver service or shuttle service to get me safely from the airport to my hotel. I want to know that I'm using like reputable people that can be tracked, followed, found. Hello? In the event of anything going awry in any kind of way. So if you don't do that, that's something to consider. If you're not renting a car yourself and you're using some type of transportation services, book it through a reputable service in advance. I will book like Ubers in advance. I will book car service through other, like I could book a car service through the hotel or something like that. I try to do those things to make sure like I'm good. It's kept me together. So, but I just missed the shuttle, right? By 5 minutes. She's like, they come every 30 minutes. I got to the desk at 3:05. Whatever. So the shuttle finally comes at 3:30. It does pull up on time. It comes like 3:20 maybe, 3:25. Getting on the shuttle, talking to another young lady who's here for the conference. Sitting there, because I'm sitting in the front and chatting, I look out the window. Why did I see one of my best friends from high school, who I literally haven't seen since we graduated from high school, on a random? So I say, in that moment of serendipity and being a little bit frustrated, but still looking for my silver lining and being open to what God wanted to do in that moment, as frustrated as I was, I ran into Kendra, who I literally haven't seen since summer of '99 when we graduated from high school. And I'm about to be 44 in like 2 weeks. And I got off the shuttle, like I literally yelled her name on the shuttle, and the young lady, she's like, I don't think she can hear you. I was like, I know, right? Duh. I ran off the shuttle, and I was like, Kendra. And she turns around, and she's like, oh my God. And we like run to each other and hug each other. And her son is like, he was really cute. It was good to meet him. He's an adorable kid. He's like 5 or 6. And we keep up with each other on social media. But again, we haven't seen each other in real life. We haven't hugged each other since 1999. 26 years, serendipitous moment. So now we're gonna try to go out to dinner because we're here for the same amount of time. Obviously, her focus is theme parks and travel and vacation and spring break. My focus is the conference, but we're really gonna try to connect because what are the odds? What are the odds? So I say, I had all of that, all of the crazy I dealt with, also gave me that really beautiful moment that would not have happened because that's literally such a unique, specific period of time for us to cross paths like that I feel like that was like my little gift from God for not completely tweaking out on these people and all of my frustrations. All right, now let me start rolling my hair so I can actually go to bed. But again, what I was saying is one of the things you need to kind of prepare for if you want to get a PhD is finding your conference home. So as of now, I basically have 2 conference homes. I have SITE, which is the Society of Information Technology and Teacher Education. And I have AERA, which is the American Educational Research Association. SITE averages maybe about 1,000 people at max, like on a really heavy year. I don't know how many people are coming through this year over the course of the week. I haven't asked yet. But it's on the smaller side for conferences. And now people will be like, 1,000 people, that's not small. But in the world of conferences, that's not super huge. And you'll understand also why in a minute when I tell you what my other conference home is. But it's cool to see people and to connect with people again. Like there's a gentleman last year that I met who's been around SITE for a while. We have the same birthday. So we're like, hey, birthday twin. and being able to connect that way. I get to go to Uganda in a couple of weeks to do some teacher training, which I'm super stoked about, and I'll tell you guys more about in a little bit, another video. And the person I'm going to Uganda with, I met her last year at site. Someone introduced me to her when I talked about the work I did in Rwanda and how I want to do teacher training and teacher education. So conferences are just really a great place to connect and meet people who you may end up doing work and research with, who you absolutely can learn from, and who you can get these really cool opportunities from. So one of the things when I go to Uganda, one of the things I end up having to do tomorrow, because one of the meetings I missed today, was there is a gentleman here who he's taught his students basically how to 3D print microscopes. Right? So one, whether if you're not in this field, you may not realize this, but like good microscopes are expensive. And in a lot of instances can be cost prohibitive when we talk about equity and access and kids being able to more freely use, and even sometimes because they're so expensive, even if a school has them, if they're a less affluent school or program, they're usually very restrictive in how students get to access and use, the microscopes and other tools like that, because they're so expensive. And it's like, hey, I can't, if you break this, we don't necessarily have the funding. Oh, I'm struggling to replace it. So they don't get to use it as freely, explore as much, and be as independent in their learning, because it's such an expensive resource. Well, this gentleman, in teaching his students how to 3D print microscopes, made them extremely cost effective, and high quality good microscopes made it way more cost effective to share this technology. And then they also, I hope I'm saying this right, I'll clear this up if not, because again, we haven't had a chance to have our meeting because I missed it because of my flight situation. Has taught, they have like a program that goes with it. So not only do the students get to participate and use this microscope and learn cool things, and if you're a nerd like me, it's just exciting to use scientific tools. They also are able to connect with other students who are utilizing the program. So they had a school, I want to say in Virginia, and a school in Florida who are doing things with these 3D microscopes. And now they're able to like work together and research together. Yes, this is how I keep my curls. I typically do not put any heat in my hair after I get my hair done. So boom. I normally do a few more, but I've been just doing 2 on each side. I don't know why, that's just where I've been. The students are able to collaborate and work with one another because they're all using these 3D microscopes. They have these online activities and things that the students can use. And then there is an online platform where they can share space and share information about what they're working on. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so dope. So 2 microscopes are going to Uganda. And it's like, if they like them and it works out well and the students are able to use them and the teachers are comfortable, one, we'll be able to send more, but also we're now going to be able to connect those students with other students around the world to talk about what they're learning, researching, and building these collaborative skills, but also these scientific like thinking skills, computational thinking, all this stuff. So super fun, right? Super exciting. So when you go to conferences, you get to be a part of really cool stuff like that. I will get to meet the gentleman, hopefully still get the training from him, because that was like a big deal. I was really sad that I was missing that today, because then I will get to help teach the teachers in Uganda on how to use the programming, how to use the microscope, talk about different lesson planning they can do, and things of that nature. And so I am like, oh my God, that's so exciting. I came from networking at a conference, right? So a couple quick tips when we talk about going to conferences, and you can go before you're in a PhD program. You can go as master's students, depending on the conference. Our conference, you can come as a K-12 educator. So different things can get you here. Go to conferences. One, I wish I would have gone to conferences prior to becoming a PhD student. I think that would have really kind of helped me in my process. And like honing in on areas of research, just kind of finding people to follow, different things. But you want to, one, again, find places where you fit socially, because a big part of conferencing is networking and connecting with people and making new connections that will allow you to further your education, further your research, further yourself professionally, just good people to know. So that's one thing you want to make sure. So you want to have a fit socially so that you're comfortable in these different environments and meeting these people. You want to make sure it's a place where your research fits, right? That's the main point of conferences. You want to share what you're working on. You want to see what other people are working on. You want to see where you can connect and maybe work on some things together. There are a couple of presentations and panels and stuff that is cool because I'm seeing people across universities, even across regions of the country they live in, coming together to do this amazing work to further equity in education, which is an area I'm just really, really, really concerned with. Then, so you want to find a place, obviously, where your research really fits and you can excel and grow as a researcher, as an academic, as a professional in the field in whatever way. So you want to fit socially, you want to fit academically, and you need to make sure you fit financially, okay? Some of these conferences are super expensive. I was actually looking at a conference in Spain, but the plane ticket alone is like $1,500. That's not where I'm at right now. Doesn't mean it's not a good conference. It doesn't mean it doesn't have presentations for people to follow. It means it's not for me in this moment. Okay, great. At the same time, though, that conference is now on my radar. So if in the future something changes, because it's a topic, it fits my topic, my areas of interest. But I can now watch that conference and kind of see, and if it fits for me in the future, I can apply. I could technically still apply to this one. Their conference proposals aren't due to April 1st. I just know I'm not buying a $1,300 plane ticket to go to Spain. So there's that. But you know, you want to make sure you find your financial fit because that's a big deal. That's really important. So you want to be in your social fit. You want to be in your research fit. You want to be in your financial fit. And you want to make sure they're having an impact overall. I don't go to conference. I don't want to just go and hear people kind of talk and chat with each other. Like, I mean, cool, whatever. But I want to make sure people are out here in the world doing real work that I can get behind, that I care about, even if it's not like my exact field. I know that they're doing things that matter to me, that matter to society as a whole, and that the organization as a whole is making an imprint because I want to be a part of helping the organization as a whole make an imprint, which is why I'm on the SIGs that I'm on and just different things. So that's that on that. Again, because I got here so late today, I didn't get here Orlando till 2:30. I didn't get to my hotel room till 4. I was only able to go to one event, which was a university night, which is like a happy hour. And it was literally like an hour. And I got there maybe 20 minutes in because waiting on the shuttle, whatever. But it was so good. I saw, again, one of my committee members. I saw a young lady who I came into the PhD program with. She's getting ready to defend her dissertation. I'm so proud of her. I got to connect with some old people that I met last year. I got to connect with some new people, which was really cool. I got to have really, really great conversations, which helped to energize me and make me excited, even more excited to be here and kind of lift my spirits after my first day got ruined due to travel delays, Delta. But it has me excited for everything that's to come. So, and the reason I'm up so late is because I was up late last night, so my sleep is all off. I was supposed to take a 30-minute nap, which turned out about a 3-hour nap. So I woke up at like 11:30 p.m., which is why I'm up now. But I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta get up early to start my first full day at the site conference. And let me know if you're interested in more. I will share more with you about the conference. I'm actually going to do just a general video. I think I did one last year on just some different tips, tools, and tricks just to have success at a conference and to make whatever conferences you're going to really work for you to your benefit, but also without being overwhelmed. And that's all I got today. So I was cute. Let me let y'all see how on me. Let me adjust. Y'all can see my little dress I wore. So I literally only had like an hour to get ready, and I wore this little. Because again, it wasn't like presentations and stuff. It wasn't super formal. But I was like, I want to be cute. I've been flying. I'm in travel clothes. I came and I took a shower. And I put on my little purple dress. And I put on a little wedge sandal. And I didn't wear makeup. As you can see, I haven't washed my face. I just didn't wear any makeup today. Because I only had an hour again to transition really fast. And to get back, or to get over to the site. The site is like, I'm sorry, that was a little lame. But I'm glad that I've done it. I'm glad that I did not let everything that took place in me getting here make me lose the rest of today. Today was still a beautiful day. It had serendipitous moments, seeing Kendra. I had great conversation at the happy hour. If that's the one thing I get to go to, I'm gonna make the best of it. I had great conversation waiting on the shuttle with people I hadn't met before, which was super cool. And I'm going to remember that I'm always where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. So that's kind of my thing for the week. Let's see how the rest of it works out. I'm super excited. I get to see my advisor tomorrow. And I love my advisor. So it should be a good week at site in Orlando. All right, friends. Love you, mean it. Remember, do what you need to do to be more than okay, because you deserve to be more than okay. And absolutely do what you need to do to live a life you love, because you deserve to live a life you love. I love you. Make it a good one. Good night.